Hello! Look, I'm not going to clickbait you and make you wait until the entire video to listen to it. I'm going to play you in just a moment, because I ain't clickbaiting you like that. So yes, whilst you're listening to this death-curdling scream, I wanted to have a think about how this thing came to be and why on earth someone had a whistle that sounds like this. But if you want the Cliff Notes version... yeah, pretty scary stuff. Damn, those Aztecs must love heavy male screaming. Hello! Welcome to Brain Spill, the laziest show on the internet. My name is Tank, and this is pretty creepy stuff. And you know what? That's probably the point. Let's get into it. Aztec civilization was located where central Mexico now is in the period of the 1300s to 1521. And whilst the Aztecs are long gone by now, their culture and history is primarily known through archaeological evidence and excavations. There are also many well-known landmarks and pyramid temples that have been found which are synonymous with Aztecs. Basically, they're pretty damn cool and I would love to make more videos on the Aztecs, but today we are learning about, simply, their death whistle. The first time that this got really popular and well known online was when a video was released in 2013 on YouTube where somebody had a replica version of the death whistle and played it. And because it's rather unique in its sound, and as you can probably imagine, got very popular at the time. And for many people this was the very first time that they'd heard the Aztec death whistle. And for many of those people, I imagine that their first reaction was, what the hell am I listening to? And that might have been the same reaction that you had when you listened to it just now. The first discovery of this whistle was made in the late 1990s, when excavators uncovered the skeletal remains of a beheaded sacrifice, squatting at the base of the temple's main stairway. Whilst this is pretty wild in itself, the real fascination came from what the remains was clutching at the time, a pair of whistles in each hand. These were both small ceramic whistles decorated with skulls which archaeologists managed to piece together being the skull of the Aztec god of death, otherwise known as Mictlantecuhtli. Nailed it. Whilst the exact purpose of the whistles hasn't really been known and has perplexed scientists for many years, it is genuinely believed that the whistles are primarily used for ceremonial purposes, because you want to be that one guy that rocks up to the party with the death whistle, because you know things are going to get pretty crazy after someone starts playing that. Yeah, you don't want to be at the party and be that one guy that starts playing the acoustic guitar. You want to be the person that whips out the death whistle. That is going to get people's heads turning. You want a party trick? Then go grab yourself one. There are also other theories that the whistle can be used to strike fear into the hearts of Aztec enemies, which, if this was the truth, I can certainly believe it. I mean, listen to this thing. There was even a rendition made of what it would sound like if you were the enemy and you had a horde of Aztecs charging at you, all simultaneously playing the death whistle at the same time. Big props to Xavier, who made the video, as both the sound clips and the sound you hear are pretty much from this video. He has some more details about this on his own video, so I'd highly recommend you go check that out. I'll leave a link down in the description, but pretty much that sound sounds like this. That is the sound of an approaching army all on horseback playing the Aztec death whistles. This is pretty cool and pretty scary, but you know what, in my opinion, I think it works better when it's being played by itself, because you can really hear the sound that way. You know, if you hear a massive wave of it coming towards you, it just kind of all molds into one sound, which doesn't really give you the striking fear into the hearts of your enemies. I mean, the approaching army itself might do that, but there we are. Whilst this is a popular belief as to how the whistle was used, the truth is that we just don't really know. Whilst we can piece together that the whistle had ritual and ceremonial significance, the exact reason is really unclear. The instrument had to even be reconstructed for historians to try and understand how these instruments are played. It's probably not smart to stick your mouth into something that's hundreds and hundreds of years old. Not gonna lie. What I thought was really cool about this was that they basically got a CT scan of the actual original death whistles they found how it was constructed, very intricately mind you, And then from there they were able to understand how it worked and make their own pretty much. Yes, the CT scans would help them understand the internal structure and how to make the replicas. When the air is blown through the intake tube, it interacts with a well or a spring of air inside of a rounded internal chamber. This creates distortions and diametrically hits each other, which produces this noisy sound. An additional opening on the bottom of the whistle can be covered with a cupped hand to shape the tone of the sound you're making. So with this in mind, you might be able to figure out how it should have been played to give this shrill sound. The way that these whistles sound and how they were constructed doesn't really line up with traditional classifications of wind instruments. The Aztec Death whistle is pretty much in a league of its own. The reason that other historians theorise this actually makes more sense in that if you look at the bellies and the position of where they found this beheaded guy, was that when you die you walk a perilous path to the underworld, and by having the whistles you could blow them to be guided to safety. This is also supported by the fact that the god of death is closely associated with the wind god. As a matter of fact, the body of this sacrifice was placed in front of a structure to the wind god, perhaps having some association there as well. I can imagine that if you're going to get hauled off to be sacrificed, the best comfort you can be given is being told, nah bro, don't worry, we're going to give you these 2 whistles to blow, and with them you'll be A-okay. So, the fact that this whistle was found in the hand of a sacrificed individual seems to imply that they were involved in this ancient practice, and whilst there's a lot we still don't really know about them and these strange whistles, it's certainly fascinating nonetheless. You know what, I've been looking for a new instrument to learn and try because I'm not the most talented musician in the world, and instead of trying to learn an instrument which is being done to death, you know, like any popular instrument you can think of, I don't think many people will be able to confidently say that they know how to play the Aztec Death whistle, so I might get one myself and be pretty unique in my abilities to play it. You never know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Fantastic.